Testing. Check. Check. 1, 2. Testing. Are we rolling? Are you ready? Check. Hey YouTubers, welcome to my series, Professional Video Production on a Shoestring Budget, sometimes no budget. In this series of videos, I'm going to cover all aspects of video production and equipment. Cameras, shooting techniques, mics, techniques for capturing audio, lighting, all aspects. I'm going to show you some tricks and a few tips that'll probably help you, that I hope will help make your video production better. I've been in television for 30 years. The last 18 years, I've been producing low-budget documentaries for television and non-broadcast markets. Most of that time, I've done everything on my own. When I've had a budget, I've hired a cameraman and gone into post-audio. But for the most part, it's been a one-man band, and it's been a bit of an adventure at times. If you want to see some of the work I've done, check out my channel. There's scenes from documentaries going back to the 80s that I produced, as well as videos that I've done in the last couple of years with my new high-def cameras. So check my channel out. There's lots of stuff there, and it's really eclectic. I've got stuff on skiing, cars, horses, all kinds of stuff. So check out my YouTube channel. So let's start with cameras. A couple of years ago, I decided it was time to retire my old Betacam. This brood here. Oh! It was time to part with the old Betacam. She weighs about 35 pounds. In its day, it was a real workhorse in the television industry. It's a Sony BVP-70. It's pretty old now. It was a nice camera, great lens, 3 chips, 3 half-inch chips. So it was fairly low light, fairly good in low light. And it was a professional camera. It was a nice unit, but it was time to part company. It wasn't getting any lighter. So I started looking around on the internet, like we all do, and doing some research. And I'll tell you, that gave me a headache. There's so many different video formats out there and flavors and varying opinions and God, blah, blah, blah. It drove me nuts. In the end, I found the best resource was YouTube, because I could go to YouTube, plug in a camera model number, and there would be a sample of what that camera looked like. So YouTube was just a great resource when it came to making a decision on the kind of camera and the format that I wanted to go with. I'm not going to talk about SLR cameras. I don't own one, and so I don't know that much about them. I know they are great cameras. People are getting great results with them. I really needed a camera with a general purpose zoom lens. I do a lot of low budget run and gun type stuff, and I really need a zoom lens. If you're thinking about doing music videos or commercials, you might want to look into the SLR. They really are they are nice cameras. People get just fabulous results with them. In the end, I decided I'd try the Sony HDV format that records onto mini DV tape. And this is the Sony 1000U, $1,500. They dropped the price to $1,500, so I thought, what the heck, I'll give it a try. If nothing else, I can use it as a second camera, in a crash cam, things like that. And if I really hate it, I can return it. I bought it through B&H, and they have a great return policy. So I thought, well, if I really hate the camera, I can send it back and I'll try something different. So I picked it up, and I've been pretty happy with it. I've had it for about 3 years. Like I said, I do use it as a crash cam. I ski with it and things like that. I've got an underwater box. I put it underwater. This camera is just a 16:9 1080i. It's not switchable. I really needed a switchable camera. My other camera, I can switch it to standard def 4:3. I shoot some local news, and that's what the client wants. And so it makes me a bit of money too doing that. So that's handy, but this isn't a switchable camera, so that's something to consider if you think you need it, that feature. Some of the drawbacks in a camera like this, the lens it's not a bad lens. It's a Carl Zeiss 10x10 times lens. The manual focus ring on these cameras is virtually useless. The workaround for that I found is when I'm shooting, I'll zoom into my subject, and I'll switch the manual button, and that'll get me into autofocus. I'll focus on my subject, flick the manual button again, and then I can pull back and I can reframe the picture, and I know my focus is going to be right. You really don't want to use autofocus, guys, especially if you're doing sports. What happens is the focus will start hunting on you. It'll start looking for focus, and the focus will change. So you really don't want that. It doesn't look very good. Another drawback on this camera is the viewfinder. The viewfinder on my old Betacam, a professional camera, it's a really big viewfinder, totally adjustable. This one here, the viewfinder, it's really small. It's really kind of annoying. It's fixed. That's your only adjustment. It does have a little LED on it. It's not very good. It's smallish, and the quality is not that good. And the other thing about this camera that you'll find kind of annoying, all your adjustments are in the menu on the viewfinder, which is really annoying. There's only a couple of buttons here that really are kind of useless, except for the manual button. So, that's kind of annoying. Okay, so the other thing about this camera is it comes with a mic. It's just a mini stereo plug-in. It's not a bad little mic. I use it for collecting BG in the field when I've been using it in the field. I wouldn't shoot interviews with it though, if you can avoid it. What you can do if you do want to use this as your only camera and you're doing interviews, is you can buy these at any basically music store. You'll find one of these at a music store. It's your mini DV plug to your XLR adapter, and then you can plug in a professional mic. And what I do is I plug that baby in. I just hold my mic out there if I'm doing an interview, and it sounds a lot better, especially if you have a shotgun mic. So that's what I would recommend doing for audio if you're doing interviews. So you really want to try to get into a camera with the balanced audio inputs. I highly recommend the balanced inputs. Then you're into professional microphones, and it'll really, really help your production. Other than that, all in all, not a bad little camera for $1,500. Like I said, I use it as a crash cam. On a nice day in sunny weather, this actually looks pretty good. On a nice day, I could actually use this camera with my better camera, my V1U. It's the same format, and I could actually use this camera like doing a 2-camera shoot, and it would work. Something else about this camera that I like, coming from the old school, is it is a shoulder mount camera with your traditional rocker right there on the zoom. If you're thinking about wedding videos or low budget corporate, this would probably work for you. And I'm sure that's why Sony packaged it in a big body. I mean, there's nothing in this body. It could have been a lot smaller, but if you're doing wedding videos with this camera and you show up on the shoot and you pull this out, they think, oh wow, he's got a really high-end camera. When in the end it's just what it is. But hey, if you don't tell, I won't tell. Okay. So, but all in all, it's a nice little camera, and for me, it was a great way to get started and try the format, try the mini DV tape format. So check it out. Next time, I'm going to show you my Sony V1U that I bought, that I think, it's a lot better camera. So I'll show you the features on that camera that make it a better camera. So thanks for watching, guys. Check out my channel if you want to see some of my other videos, and I'll see you next time. So how is my audio on that? Is the audio okay? Yeah, you sure?